in? Zoom out? I'm trying to see.
Holy shnikes, Batman.
Okay, there it is.
Alright.
Okay, gotcha. I'll lower the volume.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Today's August what?
23rd.
Alright. Let's go. I forgot how to do this. I've been looking at weather all day. Hello, welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. Today is Sunday, August 23rd. Is that correct?
Yeah.
2020. Let's go. I have to get motivated to get into this show. I've been up since 4 doing some weather stuff. So we'll see if I can get eased on into the day.
Okay.
All right, you got notes. I got nothing. Let's roll.
Well, we know that the Southern and Western Open is currently playing right now. We actually watched a few matches because I wanted to see tennis again, didn't you?
Well, kind of yes and no. We talked about this before. I think it's harder to watch currently for a lot of different reasons. I don't know if you can say that the Jerome McDonald match that is on right now is going to be more important than other things that take up the day, right? I mean,
that was a boring match. I fell asleep on that one. Really boring.
Yeah, so we have a 24-hour day and time is precious, and it's just really hard to find time to watch a match like that. No disrespect to either player. Furthermore, when you watch these matches, it seems like every match that you watch, you have a constant barrage of reminders of what the world is like at this point in time. For instance, the masks. And I'm not saying pro mask or con mask. I'm just saying. I mean, the mask thing is a symptom, or maybe that's the wrong word, but is related to kind of the shit pit that we're dealing with at this point in time. So it's like, okay, do I want to watch two players that will probably never be in the top 25 or 20 ever? And then watch lines also being called by electronic machines. Now, I think it's great to have the electronic machines, don't get me wrong. However, it's just a reminder of someone else that has lost their job. So, again, I've got a subpar player. I've got masks behind them. I've got no ball boys, ball girls, which is tradition of high-level tennis. So it's just a constant reminder of oddness for me, and so I just have chosen to proceed on with my day and not really pay much attention to most of the matches in this tournament. Now, Cilic and Shapovalov played.
Before you even get there, before you even jump there, there's a few guys that said, hi, Alex, Gene, they're on. Alex said, I missed the fans, but yeah, we were watching that. No lighting. No, this is how my phone is now. I can't see my screen anymore. I haven't figured it out.
Yeah.
So no lines judge. Now you have, I guess, a system that calls the balls out. But you notice something? The players can't argue. So this took away, like you said, the job away from the linesman. So why do we need now challenges if we don't need lines judge? Because they're obviously making the calls right. Every match we've watched, no one's complained.
Well, again, the hooligans that junk up the tennis court by yelling at lines people who are just doing their job are usually just hooligan tennis players. But anyway, go back to what you're saying.
But I mean, if you're watching this, we watch Zachary, now that's her new name.
Oh, have you heard this?
Zachary play against Coco Gauff. I thought it was Sakari the whole time, and now it's Zachary. I'm trying to get used to it. I even had to spell Sac and then put space Ari. Zachary.
I have a couple theories on this.
And before that, Gene lost his aunt to COVID, he said yesterday.
Dang, he lost his grandmother not terribly long ago as well.
Yeah.
Much love. Sorry to hear that. The thing with the names, do you guys remember when Muguruza was Muguruza prior to having won a major? She wins a major, she's more talked about at this point in time, more calendar shoots, and all of a sudden everyone was pronouncing her last name Muguruza, like with a TH instead of a Z. Now I get it's a Spanish thing, Carla's that, and Carla will tell the truth on that, right? She went through a pronunciation change after stardom, right?
Yeah, so my new name is not Carla Davis, it's Carla Davis. You might as well change it.
All right.
And you're not Justin, you're
Justine,
might as well be.
Okay, so here's how this falls into the Sakari kind of genre here. She used to have a ball on her head.
She looks better now.
She had a ball.
Head. Yeah, when I saw her at first, I didn't know who that was. I'm like, wait a minute. She looks like very muscular. Is it Sakari? I'm like, what? And then I see her hair, is flowing, and her outfit looked good. I was like, she looks a lot better. She looks a lot more feminine.
She's trying to butter this
but
up.
I did the bun
She's
today for
buttering
her. I
this
did the
up.
bun today for her because I saw a lot of players that just look crappy.
Her bone was way up here though.
That's true.
She
I
had
don't
like
want
a
to
bun
get
up there.
but they look so crappy in this tournament. The outfits in this tournament are so crappy. So I said, you know what? I might as well look crappy too. Join the crowd.
I think they're trying to do like a vintage Nike Agassi.
Might as well look crappy as them. But she looked a lot better, and she did beat Coco Gauff. Coco Gauff actually looked like a 16-year-old.
She destroyed her.
She looked like a 16-year-old playing tennis. She kept looking up at her dad. She had no answer. She kept mishitting her shots, hitting a lot of unforced errors. Her forehand was going out.
No crowd there was
no
a factor
crowd,
for her.
No crowd was definitely a big
she
factor.
She gets fired up off the crowd.
She gets fired, and Sakari, I have to get used to that.
It's Sakari.
Was too much for her. So I thought that Sakari would win.
Look, I want to rewind this to a kind of mid-show last year about this time, and maybe before that. Carla used to give me a really hard time about Sakari. We actually would both give her kind of grief, but I would say, she's a really strong girl, she's a pretty girl, she'd be like, look at this butch girl, blah, 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 blah. Yet when she notices her the other day with the hair, like she just said, quote, flowing. Didn't you just say her hair was flowing?
Her hair was flowing.
How you busting out her hair was flowing? Does that make you, do you look at my hair and say it's flowing today?
Girls do that.
Her hair is flowing? That's flowing. You walk up to a girl and say, your hair is flowing today?
Hey, what's up, Wildlife One?
Okay.
Man, your girl got beat by Coco Sabalenka. I mean, the other tournament.
Yeah, the one prior to this one.
Yeah.
Okay, but so now that Sakari has no more bun. She used to have this really wicked bun.
Tight bun.
Looked like a donut on top of her head.
It pulled her face back. It was like
looks like she was hung from a ceiling fan by the top of her hair, and it got tangled up into a knot.
Well, Alexa, stop it.
Okay. Anyway, look, neither here nor there. The bun is gone, and it was, as Carla said, flowing. So doesn't this have something to do with her name change?
But her game was a little bit different.
So
Did you notice that she was not hitting her forehand off her back foot? Did you notice that? I bet you didn't.
Does anybody remember the acronym we had last year for Sakari? Hitting off the back foot forehand, wasn't it? Wasn't it like HBBFT or something?
Yes. Another match, Yastremska, I see someone said tough loss for Venus. Yeah, she lost to Yastremska. Again, why is Mommy playing tennis still? I mean, really.
I like Yastremska a lot. I'm happy that she won. Surely there was some rust there. Big things for Yastremska. She's one of my top 3 on tour now, so I'm happy for the win. Excited.
Anisimova beats Risk. Outfit was horrible. It actually made her look, that Nike outfit made her look like she was just a normal girl.
Again, I think
made her look older. I think not pretty at all.
I think the theme of Nike's attire moving into the U.S. Open and slightly beyond. I don't know if the Asian swing is going to happen. I don't think so.
Gene, what's MTO Queen? I don't know what that means. Laugh out loud.
MTO in football is mandatory time off. I don't know if that means that though. I just heard that before. But the theme is vintage Nike when Agassi had the denim shorts and the multicolored kind of.
Medical timeout Queen. Got it.
Okay. Mandatory timeout, medical timeout. Cool.
All right, cool.
But that's the theme. So you're seeing like kind of the spandex on top of the shorts or underneath the shorts.
Sure, yeah, but I mean, Felix played. He played against. I put, and don't beat me for this. I put wife beater Bashvili. I mean, he just looked like he had to be there because, divorce is expensive and he needs to win because his ex-wife will get a nice chunk.
The story is he choked his ex-wife, but you know how these stories go. You can't believe anything you hear or half of the stuff you hear and like nothing that you read. But that was the story, half a year ago?
Not even half a year ago, like 4 months ago, because we're all been stuck at home. But he looked really bad on the tennis court. There was no life in him. There was no excitement in him. Felix actually pulled off the Nike outfit. His outfit was actually nice.
Felix is a handsome young man.
Yes.
Felix could it be, though, that Basilashvili played kind of like Basilashvili always has played, except for some electric moments at the Open and a scattering of other tournaments, and maybe played a little bit less than that, and Felix actually played very, very well.
Yeah.
Even having gone through a very rusty period with the rest of us.
Yeah.
So good job for Felix.
Azarenka beats Donna Vekic.
Holy screech.
By the way, Azarenka, the outfit she wore, I'm sorry, I gotta get on the outfit, was horrible. But what was worse was the hairstyle, and this is why I'm wearing my hair like this. Her hair was worse. It looked like she just got up and decided to put 2 ponytails braided half-assed and then just put 2 things up here. Just horrible. She didn't look very muscular to me. It was almost like her body went flat.
She had the Snoop Dogg hair.
Yeah, it was just off. She didn't look very athletic. And then I watched Donna Beckett shake her hand, and she had this polo Nike shirt that just made her look really flat. It was just like, what is going on?
First of all, didn't watch the match. I had a really hard time, and have always had a really hard time watching Vika or Azarenka.
Alex, agree with me. I didn't like Donna's outfit. Made her look ugly.
Azarenka, I'm not going to get on the squealing because you guys hate it, but the holy super squeal, piggy screech, I can't deal with that screech. It's horrendous. By the way, prior to this match, there was a lot of hullabaloo about Donna Vekic and Pliskova that were in a few calendar shoots here and there prior to the Western and Southern Open.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Well, I think it was, and Sakari now. I think Sakari was on like the cover of Elle magazine or did a photo shoot.
I missed
there.
that whole thing.
I think Pliskova did something with the swimsuit. I think it was humble, but still distraction from court and practice. And then Vekic did something, and I think it was like Instagram related. Don't give a damn either way.
Let me tell you something.
All I'm saying though is when these girls start doing this calendar shoot stuff. I mean, look, how many calendar shoots do you think Steffi Graf did? You think she posted up in
She did Sports Illustrated, but it was tasty. It was just a bathing suit. I mean, and it was like related to her career.
Yeah,
I remember that. Everybody was like, whoa, Steffi Graf.
Besides that, wasn't that kind of...
That was it.
Cut and dry?
Yeah, but here, it's funny because you see the girls in the calendar shoots and you're like, oh my God, they're so hot. But then you see them play tennis and you're like...
They're so not.
They're so not. You're like, what happened from A to B? It's called photo shoot.
Well, and it's called like changing the lenses and computers and all this.
Because I looked at Donna Vekic, and I'm sorry if I was a dude and I hate to be mean. I wouldn't even look at her once.
Whatever happened with Vekic and Wawrinka?
They broke up.
Man.
I mean, is it supposedly Wawrinka with Muguruza? Who knows?
I wonder if Wawrinka and Kyrgios ever made up for that swaft that they had.
Guys always stick together.
Like,
at the end of the day. Another good match that I thought Shapovalov looked good.
He did
look
good.
Watching it with my dad.
He did look good.
Shapovalov looked refreshed. Cilic looked like he was Groot. He looked tired. Groot, from that movie. He looked very tired, slow.
What is Groot?
It's what's the name of the movie? I would call Groot. I used to call the tall guy Opelka Groot. He's like a tree, really slow. It's a character.
Okay.
But anyways, he looked very tired. He kept looking up at the stands. There were no fans, so no one can pump him up. He just looked. You can tell that this affected him. Time off tennis definitely affected him.
Yes.
His serve. He missed his first serve. How important is your first serve in men's tennis?
It's supremely important. However, Shapovalov looked really fresh, actually. I don't know if even...
What's up, B-Dog? Guardians of the Galaxy. Thank you, Bud Light.
I don't know if even Cilic was moving a little bit better, or maybe he had a little bit less fatigue on. I guess at least that's how it looked. I still don't know if he was going to be able to run down what Shapovalov was doing.
No, he was on fire. His backhand was on fire. He was pumped. But Cilic looked old. But at least he won a slam. He won a slam, and that's it.
I always liked Cilic. I hate him.
I never did.
Then he shed a tear, and I'm not bashing on him because I know Federer cries like a fairy a lot. But then Cilic shed a tear when he lost to Federer at that Wimbledon, like after gave it kind of the cry.
Yeah, because
was it at U.S. Open? Or
no, it was. He's always cries when he plays Federer.
Yeah.
Another match I was watching today was Tennis Sangren against Zongo. Why am I saying that wrong? Zanego. Okay, I've never really watched this guy play before. Not Sangren, the other guy. Zanego. But every time he hit his backhand, it was like, ugh. I'm like, what are we watching here?
He had the
and then Sangren was like, what the hell was that? They kept yelling, grunting. No one was there. I mean, it was awful.
They call that taking a dump grunt. It sounds like you're
Zanego. Thank you, Zanego.
They're taking a dump grunt.
No, you don't get it. He hit the ball
and then
went. Ooh.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
It was worse than Azarenka.
A post-impact take a dump grunt after the ball is struck. Wasn't Sangren getting pissed about it?
No, he hit it. He was missing. Like he was down in the second set. He's like, "What the hell was that?" He's a big guy. He doesn't even look like a tennis player. He's a big guy, but he's got a lot of power.
He's one of those Tennessee guys. Those Tennessee guys are tough.
He looks like he would beat anybody's.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Those boys in Tennessee.
It should be a hindrance. I agree, Alex.
Yeah,
it should definitely be a hindrance. Okay. Any other matches that we watched? I think that was the only one, right?
Man.
Oh, Fritz. We watched Fritz.
You did pretty good over here.
Yeah, we watched Fritz last night. My dad said I like Fritz. He's a great player. He was playing against the South African Lloyd Harris.
I don't think he's mean enough.
He's a nice boy. He reminds me of my son.
Rewind what you just said. Can you repeat that?
Repeat what you boy.
Quote unquote. He's a nice boy.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
And he made the outfit look good. So.
Yeah, great young man. As you said, I've heard wonderful things about this kid since day one. Family man. I think he already has a child, as you alluded to. So bravo to Fritz. However, he's a nice boy, and some of these ballers out here just want to tear your throat out. Nice boy doesn't work.
Wildlife says run significantly after contact is ridiculous and useless. I agree.
There's other players that do this. Azarenka is one of these.
Sabalenka.
Look, and Sabalenka's another one.
But you like her, Wildlife.
No, well, theirs is a pre squeal, no, a pre kind of a lurch, and then an impact. Quick like zap, and then an after impact for a second or later squeal, kind of like a comet's tail when it's flying through space. There's a tail that trails it. So hers was like she's running for the ball and she goes, impact's coming. So it's a freaking triple whammy of bullshit. Awful, hideous to listen to.
Yeah, Wildlife says Kyrgios does it sometimes, and he says, don't call me out my hypocrisy."
Look, if you could set up a doubles match for the loudest squealers of all time, who would you have pairing off?
Sharapova is
would team up with who?
With Azarenka.
Sharapova and Azarenka against who? Sabalenka and
there is another one we want.
The American girl that squeals like like an old rusty.
Isn't it Allison Risk?
Risk, yeah. Go Risk in there.
Yeah.
That would be brutal.
So Gene says Lloyd Harris is in Cape Town with his wife.
Kevin Anderson, by the way.
He won.
Gene, he won his match.
He won his match against Kyle Edmund.
Yeah.
So that was a good match for him. Another one was Opelka. Opelka actually looked healthy. He's a tall guy, but he's not skinny.
I did watch the first game.
I
watched the first game of this match, and here's what occurred. Opelka walks out on the court. I didn't see the Red Bull cam, by the way, so that was interesting. So that's kind of a change. Anyway, he walks out on the court, huge beard, Paul Bunyan, what's up, lumberjack, getting down. So he gets out there. He wins the toss, elects to serve, obviously. 15 love, 30 love, 40 love game. Ace, 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 ace. I told myself I've seen enough. Only because here's what happens.
Poor Nori.
He'll play like that, and then he'll win. But when you play a defender such as Djokovic or, say, Diego Schwartzman or some of these just maestro defenders that can just block it back and read it really well, then he's got to get on the ground and play the ground game. And his ground game is not above average, so he ends up losing. So I don't get too stoked. I don't get too stoked about Opelka. Sorry.
Another match that you guys are talking about, Murray. Yeah, Murray beat Tiafoe. I put here, great win. A Grand Slam champion always finds his form.
He found his way.
He found his way, and I'm glad because I did have that next, Murray and Zverev, and I hope that Murray beats the crybaby girl.
Can I ask you an odd question, everyone? And you guys can vote on it or not. And I thought about this today. If I'm worth $100 million like Andy Murray is, now think about this. Mm-hmm. I've watched Andy Murray play, since, I don't even remember
since he started,
right? I think a lot of us have, right?
Yeah.
He comes up to serve, and especially when he's serving into the deuce court, they zoom up on him, and, you see him from head to toe. And he always looks a little labored, in his ankle braces, and, he trods up there. And,
rough looking.
A little rough around the edges, like his Scottish gentleman that he is. However, has anyone ever seen the monstrous birthmark on his right leg?
I have, yes.
So would you not want to take that off? No disrespect.
No, I wouldn't. It's your birthmark. I have birthmarks. It's your deal.
I'm like,
but
if I had,
okay, let me tell you.
And I've had one, and I had it. It was on my back. I wouldn't have it removed. So I'm just like, damn, here's this, Scottish, and I just gotta look at that birthmark every time he serves.
B-Dog, you're behind. Softer version of Sakari with longer hair dusted off Goff. Wow, we were talking about this.
Wait a minute.
We talked about this in the beginning. See, even he noticed it. This dude, big dude, noticed it.
Well, B-Dog, what's up, bro? But he's able to go back and watch it from the beginning?
I don't know, but I don't know. He says softer version is Sakari. It made her look softer because the bun makes her look manly.
She has no more man bun.
No. Even though my son was still, but I thought she looked a lot better.
Well, she's equally as strong. She looks like the same person to me. And
I thought her strokes were better. I didn't see her going like this too much, and I didn't see her hitting off her back foot. I saw her actually charging the net after she hit her backhand, which I thought it's better for her.
She was following her approach action.
Yeah.
She was not defending so much. She was not having a late footwork and having to
She looked better.
having to hit easy forehands off her back foot. She was getting into the court. She was following the balls. Coco Gauff, again, in my opinion, in that match,
She's just young.
was just lacking crowd, and the crowd is what pushes her through.
Absolutely.
And that's going to be a real a bummer for a lot of us Coco Gauff fans moving forward. Think about it. When you're a 15-year-old kid and 16-year-old kid,
and she was already depressed. Supposedly.
And here you are. The next potential greatest thing. Your fans are cheering for you.
That's important.
And her whole young career has been associated with, look at this story, and the talk shows and everything else. And Carla, you and I have talked about this for a long time. She has fed off the crowd, and that's wonderful. That's what it's all about. But with no crowd, this will hurt her, and it will hurt her badly.
Yes. Jean said, I fancy Murray's chances in the next round against Zverev because he always knows he's very inconsistent for a top 10 player. I really hope he wins. I am so tired of this crybaby. Zverev?
Man, forget Zverev.
That's what I'm saying. I want Murray to win. That's what he's saying.
They play next.
They play next, second round.
Who dropped that knowledge drop?
Jean.
What's up, Jean?
They play next.
Love that guy.
And not only that, he said, well, here's Andy Murray with all this money and blah, blah, blah. He loves tennis because it's definitely not about money. The guy's hurt. You can tell he's a little bit slower. You can see it in his walking. He's definitely he's definitely doing it because he has passion and love for this game.
And I think
he still wants to play.
I think it's more than that. It's that, but I think it goes even deeper than that. The tradition of tennis in England runs blood deep as it does in a lot of places. But if you go to the United Kingdom or over there, Wimbledon is like the Mecca. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And without Andy Murray, who does the UK really have, or Scotland, or the whole
Edmund
island?
does. Edmund
are you going to root for Norrie? Are you going to root for Edmund? Are you going to root for? Who are you going to? Who? So I think there is some patriotism there, and good, because that's motivation, right?
So Wildlife said the lack of crowd will also help Goff's opponents because they won't be fighting against the crowd.
Exactly.
Very good point.
Who said that?
Wildlife won.
Exactly.
Because, the crowd always wants the younger one, the underdog, to win.
Here, let me put this out here. I always forget. We always put these Y-Tech shirts here only because our friend, who's from South Africa, by the way, he owns the company. And I always tell him, I'll always have your shirt out there, and I forget about it sometimes. So sorry, Ivor. Anyway, so the Murray, who's Murray play? Zverev, in my opinion, is a two-bit fairy. Ever since he declined Lendl's puppy from the practice court, I give him a D- in overall humanity.
I just think he's an idiot.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
Another girl that's just not having Kasatkina's just disappearing, honestly. Obviously this, time off from tennis didn't help her. She goes out to Kontaveit pretty quickly.
Kontaveit's a beast, though.
But still, though, Kasatkina needs to get some matches going, and she just can't seem to do it.
Does anyone think that Anett Kontaveit has the firepower or the capability of winning a major? I do, and I always have thought that.
I don't think so. Women's tennis is so unpredictable. I don't know.
I guarantee you there's some people that will agree with me on that.
Anyone agree? Rybakina, Jean went like this, so I'm guessing she lost.
Yeah, Rybakina lost. Yeah. She lost, that was yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, and there's still a lot of good matches. I was watching Schwartzman. Schwartzman, his outfit was cracking me up. With this tie-dye. It was just crazy.
Hey, he got a W, though.
It looks like these designers just don't have any imagination. I don't know.
Novak Djokovic, I hear, pulls out of doubles for the neck.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I buy into that one. I think if his neck genuinely hurt, he wouldn't play at all. But that's another story for another day. It's not uncommon.
It's not uncommon. I don't find that as a big deal.
No.
Alex says Sloane plays Garcia today. Sloane desperately needs a win. I don't think she will win. I just don't see her winning.
Who said that?
Alex Couillard.
Alex, thank you for telling me that. Again, this tournament, no disrespect to anyone, I haven't paid really any attention to it. Her dad came over last night.
I actually have. I've been, and Kim Kleister was supposed to play this, and she pulled out of it.
Yeah, well,
because she an abdominal injury.
Well, she's gonna play the Open.
She got a wild card, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not that I haven't. It's just
What do you got against Kenin and Cornet? I say Kenin. I don't think Cornet. Cornet's just not enough.
I mean, yeah,
to beat Kenin.
To me that's a no-brainer. But again, the whole rust factor, the no crowd thing. That's all going to play into it,
Sloan is
especially,
a cook bird.
especially.
Sloan is a cook bird, said B-Dog.
Yeah. And who's she playing?
She is playing, who did we just say? She's playing Garcia. Garcia has a good chance.
You know, that's a tough call though, because even though Sloan doesn't have a crowd, she never was kind of a crowd feeder anyway. She is at home. I mean, that's a tough call. Thank you for telling me the match though, because for some reason I would actually like to watch that match, at least a little bit of it.
Yeah, there's a couple matches I'm going to watch tonight. While I said Djokovic with the BS neck injury to get out of playing doubles in the heat. Who knows? Maybe. I don't know. I wrote something about him here. I will talk about that later on. His first round match, or second round match, because he gets a bye, is against Berankis. I almost laughed at that.
Look, Ricardo Berankis was a really good junior player. Had a chance to be around the junior.
You told this story.
Anyway, but Berankis is one of those guys that you saw as a junior, and one would think that just because you're that good as a junior, that you're just going to be excellent in the pros. Berankis is one of those perfect examples of why juniors tennis, as it relates to the transition to the pros, is almost meaningless.
Yes.
Isn't that why Richard Williams never really put the two sisters, Serena and Venus, in really juniors or high school in the first place? Because like, what does it mean? You know,
not much.
Who are some other top-notch juniors that never?
Donald Young.
What about Jerzy Janowicz, the Polish guy?
Donald Young is your best example, right?
Give me some other juniors. There was a little short American kid. What was his name? Little scraggly thing. He wore his hat backwards all the time.
Well, Eric Kriegstein was supposed to be the next thing too.
Denis Kudla. Denis Kudla was his name. So Aaron Kriegstein, by the way, I think his best showing was that quarterfinal against Jimmy Connors, in which he beat him in that, or he lost. Jimmy Connors beat Kriegstein in that epic match. I think it was the fourth round, actually.
Mm-hmm. And his career from there went
down.
Just went really down.
But yeah, he was another top-notch junior that was supposed to light up the world, and it just didn't.
But again, do we think Djokovic is going to have a problem with Berankis? Really?
No, Djokovic could play him left-handed and hopping, and he'd get through him.
Now, Shapo against Struff should be a really good match.
Yeah, I'm interested in that.
He beat Dimanur. Struff beat Dimanur, by the way.
Shapovalov played very well last night. He hit.
I think he's gonna be tough.
He hit all his spots on the court. He hit through the ball. He was playing aggressive. He was hitting his spots. He hit his footwork. He was recovering in the right place. However, what is Shapovalov and what has he always been? Not consistent at playing that level. Even within the same match, I get we all ebb and flow throughout a tennis match, right? That's normal. Mm-hmm. But sometimes he ebbs in the positive in one game and then kind of flows in the negative for another couple of games and never really can kind of get back. So he's streaky is what I'm trying to say.
Well, if he beats Struff, he plays Djokovic next. So we'll see what happens.
Who do you hope wins that match, Struff or Shapovalov?
Shapovalov, because I would like for him to see. I mean, remember, I've always picked him.
Struff is German, though, right?
Yes.
And I think Shapovalov, his ancestry is Russian, and I think he was born in Israel and then was raised in Canada. Now I think he trains in Florida or the Bahamas. I think Struff has been kind of a loyal German. One of our students' parents are from Germany. So I'm going to go for Struff here.
Okay, gotcha.
Let's go, Struff. Let's get down.
Your guy, George.
Let's get down.
Your guy, George, played Benoit Paire, and he was up 6-0, 1-0, and then Benoit Paire withdrew from whatever injury, but he plays Goffin tonight or tomorrow.
Goffin was a shoulda, coulda, woulda. Goffin could have won a couple of majors in there if it wasn't for, say, Djokovic, Federer, and Nadal. Wow, you know what I mean?
Good win for Murray. Hey, Blind Fury, yes. Jean says something good about Kontaveit. Kontaveit is kind of up and down. She has great patches, but also she can play really bad, and times consistency is a problem for her. So...
Yeah, I mean, that's tennis. But I look, if it's not for the likes of Serena Williams out there, well, now I'm going to take her out of the equation. What I saw from her in Lexington, even though it was just a warm-up, whatever, it's not going to happen. Yeah. But besides, who are some of the big women that, I mean, now it's so up and down. Andreescu, she's not playing.
Osaka's playing tonight.
Okay, no, I mean in U.S. Open. He mentioned Kontaveit, and I'm saying, okay, let's look at Kontaveit's chances of winning the U.S. Open. We know that Serena's playing, but that's not a threat, really, honestly. Mm-hmm. There's no crowd to pump her up and back her up. There's no line judges to throw balls down their throats, so she should be pretty safe there, unless she has a tirade against an invisible spectator or coach up there in the thing. There's no coaches up there, whatever.
Yeah.
But, okay, so you've got Kontaveit in there. There's no Andreescu. Who else isn't playing the U.S. Open?
Well, I said I'm rooting for Martic in the U.S. Open.
Okay, see, that's another good pick.
Alex Huliar said, what do you think about Pliskova?
That's another good pick.
For Pliskova, really for her, I think it's an advantage that the crowd is not there. For instance, if she plays someone like Serena, someone that the crowd loves, for her it's better that there's no crowd.
I don't even think Osaka's a threat. For some reason,
I love Osaka's commercial though. That
Yeah.
white Yonex bag, and if anybody wants to send it to me, feel free. I'm sure it's not cheap.
Yeah, I read an article that the two highest paid athletes on the women's side.
Is Delpo playing? Sorry, I didn't know
Go
that.
Delpo.
I didn't
Let's
know that.
go. I hope so. But I read that Naomi Osaka and Serena Williams, and they're still relatively young, especially Osaka, are already the two top highest paid female athletes of all time. So again, when this kind of money comes into a young person's hand, and I look, every time I see anything to do with sports or some periodical or magazine, I always see a Naomi Osaka in some type of ad non-related to tennis. So I can't imagine.
She has to advertise.
Yeah, but I can't imagine her focus right now is tennis, having done all those shoots. It takes time to do those things. You don't just go show up and take one picture and it's over with. You go and spend 3 and 4 days just trying to get the one perfect picture.
They want to get that right angle. You got to pop out the booty, pop out the chest. You got to look slimmer, more feminine.
Man, could you turn that into a song? Pop out the booty, pop out the
Maybe
chest.
her rapper boyfriend will. I don't know.
Oh, she's got a rapper boyfriend.
Yeah. Wildlife says, I have no idea where Osaka's head is right now. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so I think I'll give you a list of the potential winners of this year's U.S. Open on the women's side. Pliskova, as someone indicated. Martic is another really good shot. Yastremska is another really good shot. You notice I'm not going to put Serena Williams in this. Andreescu's out. Kontaveit I'm going to throw in there. Who else is really grinding it out right now that's a threat to go really deep? What about Alexandrova that took out? Who did Alexandrova just beat in an upset in straight sets? It was 7-6, 7-6. Who did Alexandrova just beat?
I don't know.
Look out for Alexandrova. That was a good match. I actually watched that one. Can someone give me that? Who Alexandrova just beat? Was it Rybakina? Did Alexandrova beat Rybakina? 7-6, 7-6?
Somebody said, what about Mertens, Kenin, Sabalenka? Stop
No, we
dreaming,
can't do
Wildlife.
Sabalenka.
Stop
We can't
dreaming.
do that. Sabalenka, again, I watched that match. It looks like she
needs to go back to the to strategy, because the only thing she does is hits the ball like every junior does.
She kind of, wants to show
There
up.
is no there's no strategy when you watch her.
She just cranks the forehand.
That's it. Yeah.
And misses it, and when she misses it, it's over.
Pretty much.
Kind of like Opelka serve. If he misses it, it's over.
Alexandrova beat Rybakina.
Yeah, so watch out for Alexandrova.
I mean, Halep is not playing.
She's not playing.
Andreescu is not playing. Who else is not playing? Muguruza's not playing. Who else is not playing? Silavina's not playing. Is Kvitova playing?
That's a great question. I don't
Kvitova
know.
would have a good chance.
I don't know. I'm assuming a lot of these girls too.
Yeah, Kvitova. Alex Kuyasa Kvitova.
Okay, maybe. It's going to be hot. Hard courts, tough on the body. Kvitova's got
Barty's not playing.
I'm looking at a younger player than Kvitova here. But again, all these players are going to be your favorites. I think, we always do a fantasy team and a tennis racket giveaway for the U.S. Open. I think I might even make it. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but the women's is going to be so difficult. It's going to be highly doubtful.
You might as well play the lottery. You have a better chance.
Yeah. But we will be doing that.
So someone said Blind Fury, Daniel Medvedev, U.S. Open win. He is playing later on. I saw Tsitsipas is playing Anderson. TM plays Krajinovic, so that should be some interesting matches.
Okay, so let's say hypothetically, who said the Djokovic Medvedev, or who said Medvedev would win it?
Blind Fury.
Okay, let's go Blind Fury's potential projection. Let's say they end up on opposite halves of the draw and they get to a final. Does anyone remember last year's U.S. Open where Medvedev got very lucky to get some positive, negative reciprocation from the crowd to push him through some really difficult matches? Didn't he have like 2 5-setters in a row, and due to the crowd booing him and him getting motivated because of that, he got through? And maybe not, but I think it had a lot to do with it. So now let's say that Djokovic and Medvedev step into a crowdless Arthur Ashe Stadium with no one there and masks abound. Who do you think grinds that match out from an internal standpoint?
Djokovic, hands down.
Who was the person that took practice in bombed out swimming pools
Djokovic, hands
while
down.
bombs were falling on
Well, you don't think that Medvedev I'm sure they went through hard times in Russia as
Look,
well.
Vladimir Putin didn't have any bombs dropping anytime recently.
True, but you got to give it to Djokovic, because Djokovic is focused. I mean, and Medvedev's gonna need the crowd. I don't think Djokovic is not gonna really need the crowd. You know what I mean? For him, it's smooth sailing.
Djokovic is an assassin, man, and he'll come up on you quickly and will just tear your throat out. And I don't think that Medvedev is man enough to handle that. I just don't.
So Jesse Chatter says 3 out of the 4 semifinalists from the women's side in 2019 are out. Yeah.
That's a
Wow.
that's a good knowledge drop. Who said that?
Jesse Chatter.
Do you know who those people were? I don't recall. Do you remember? I don't know. But that's who were the people.
Well, Andreescu's one.
What about with Serena? No, she's playing.
She's playing.
Halep. Was Halep there?
I don't know.
Because Halep would be Svitolina. Did Svitolina make it? So I think it's probably Svitolina, Halep, and Andreescu.
No crowd benefits Djokovic. Agree.
Yeah.
TM will not win the U.S. Open.
No, yep. I agree.
And while Live said Gene and Djokovic would school Medvedev. Bencic is not playing. Yes, that's right.
Good call on that one. I didn't even know
she might be one of the.
Who said that?
She might be one of the semifinals. Gene Schwartz.
She
made the semifinals. Yep, she made the semifinals.
Okay, so let's rewind this now. Does anyone think maybe the designation of the tournament should not be majorific and should be like a Masters 1000?
Actually, I heard the Tennis Channel. They had Jim Courier, Andy Roddick, Lindsay Davenport, and one of the other commentators, and they asked Djokovic this question. Well, Federer's not playing, Nadal's not playing, Wawrinka's not playing. Do you think that this U.S. Open would have an asterisk? And he said, I don't think it matters whether these guys were playing or not. He's like, it's still a slam.
Who said that? Andy Roddick?
No, they asked Djokovic.
But there wasn't Andy Roddick in on that conversation?
Yeah, also Andy Roddick said, you can't say that because it takes 7 matches to win a Grand Slam, he said. It doesn't matter who you're playing.
Okay, let me tell you what Andy Roddick's justification was for, yes, it being a Grand Slam. Because he said that Marion Bartoli had won Wimbledon in a field where she didn't face hardly anyone. Anyway,
so Bartoli's saying it's not, but they're saying, well, Bartoli, you won not facing anyone, above 17.
All right. Now, how far does Andy Roddick's credibility go? Never was a huge fan, by the way.
I agree with them, though.
She loved Roddick. I did not. Jerky serve. I mean, I loved him as an American player. Good for you. Won an Open. Great for you. But still not my favorite guy. But so the guy, Andy Roddick, in my opinion, basically quit and left the game because he knew he wasn't going to be an emerging Djokovic. Federer was already there that owned him. How many times did Roddick beat Federer? Wasn't it like 19-1, or was he undefeated his entire time? Was it like 20-0?
So you know how Roddick feels then when you play against me.
Are you serious? You better be lucky my arm still healing. I don't get that ass.
That's basically.
He drop shot.
I am sure. I get how you feel now. It's okay.
Shoot.
That one match you'll always remember.
Did Andy Roddick ever beat Roger Federer? Maybe once early. Maybe I have to stat check that. But okay, so Andy Roddick leaves the game preemptively because he knew the idea of beating an emerging young Djokovic with an established Federer and an emerging Nadal, or been around for a hair or two, or had more success at that point. But so he dips out. Now you're going to take his word on the cheesy Tennis Channel when they give you all their snooty Chris Evert appeal, and you're going to sit here and tell me that that's a guy that you're going to listen to about his projections on his thoughts about the U.S. Open?
So U.S. Open should have an asterisk, is what you're saying?
Hell yes. Well, look, if you're going to have it, have it. If you're going to have it, great. But look, I'm just saying, I'm not hating on the Grand Slam count here. But how many of us disagree or agree with me in a sense that there are 3 tennis players, Nadal, Djokovic, and Federer, that are the greatest of all time? Personally, I think Djokovic has kind of taken the edge over both of them, just saying. But that's not the argument. 2 of those guys, which all 3 are healthy, 2 of those guys aren't there. Wawrinka's not there.
Okay. Well, Wawrinka just won a challenger, and he struggled through that challenger.
Okay, well, anyway, so all I'm saying that is how do we determine who the greatest of all time is? And I know we have talked about this ad nauseum on this channel. I'm not getting into it. We usually determine that if we're naive sports fans and we're just looking back in the encyclopedia, some dude that gets into an argument with some stranger at a bar and don't even know the game. Hey, man, who was the greatest tennis player of all time? Or trivia night. They open an encyclopedia, they look at slam count. What I'm saying is if they're all tied at 20, or Djokovic ends up with 21 and the rest of them have 20, and it's only because he's at 21 instead of 20 because of the U.S. Open that happened this year, are you telling me it's not going to be just absolutely endless debate? Maybe. Are you insane? It's going to be...
But Federer's hurt, and that's not his fault.
Federer's a pansy. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
Nadal, we know the reason Nadal didn't come to the U.S. Open. We know it's because he wants to train on clay. We know that.
Federer's not.
And why is Djokovic playing the U.S. Open? Because he said, "I love the U.S. Open." Obviously, it's a better surface for him, supposedly he's playing faster. I don't even know how these
Man,
players know.
I don't even
I get
care
so
about all
tired of
that.
hearing like the surface was
He's
slow.
playing
The
faster.
surface is faster.
The
The
humidity's
balls are
higher.
heavier. Just play
So
fast.
the same person's got to deal with it on the other side of the fence. However, Federer's not going to beat Djokovic now anyway. However, he will put more miles on Djokovic's shoes. Same with Nadal. I don't think Nadal would beat Djokovic on a hard court. I don't think anyone's going to beat him on a hard court. Maybe the rust from the time off. But what I'm saying is if he has to play these guys en route, whatever, then the final opponent awaiting has more of a chance because he's more taxed.
So Vito said if Djokovic goes to the US Open and none of the top three are there and he loses it, it would be a sad mark on his reputation.
Very sad. Agreed totally. Who said that?
B-Dog.
Yeah, I mean it's really a courageous decision for him to play it because he's absolutely right. I didn't even think about that, but like, it kind of hit me.
He's got pressure on him.
So B-Dog has indicated that if Djokovic doesn't win it, it's an asterisk. You know, it's kind of like LeBron this year not winning the NBA title. If he doesn't, then it's an asterisk, right? So, you know, I think it's synonymous here. But yes, it would be an asterisk, and it would be a selfish asterisk, I think, you know?
So Federer Roddick 21-3 in favor of Fed.
Yeah.
Wildlife asks Del Potro.
Who gave us the stat on that?
Gene.
Thank you, bro.
Wildlife says Del Potro playing, and what about a fit Del Potro against Djokovic at the U.S. Open? Would he win? No. He's just been he's not fit. He's so injury prone, you know?
Would you bet, Carla, or any of you out there, I think I'll even take the bet. I'll bet someone out there $20, and no one's going to take it, but I'll bet you $20, and I'll send it to you if I lose, if you take it. Pardon me, but I don't think anybody in their right mind will take it. Let's say Del Potro is at the U.S. Open, if he's playing, whatever. I hope he does. And he's winning matches. Does he get past the first week? Not winning or losing, but without withdrawing or healthy. I mean, he's one of my favorite players. I love him.
I think he needs to hang the rackets. He's just been through so much. His body's been through so much. At that height, he's already slow. He gets tired by the way he plays. Yeah. It's just it's taxing.
When there's two players on tour that make me sore watching them play. In other words, I can watch it and I'm like, ooh, that kind of hurts, man. Just Murray number one, and Del Potro. It hurts me to watch them play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Does anybody?
You kind of feel.
You're like, damn. It's like he's got a grimace on. It's like, oh, he's taking a step. Like, oh, and then Del Potro is like falling on the ground, bleeding, and kind of hobbling up like a giraffe, and you're just like. Man,
Alex Delpo definitely could have won more majors if he didn't have a lot of injuries. Definitely. Nishikori tested twice for coronavirus, and he's got a few days left before the U.S. Open. He's trying to test again so he can play the U.S. Open twice.
Nishikori was more of a threat 10 years ago. Am I wrong?
Twice. Poor guy.
8 or 10 years ago, Nishikori more of a threat?
5 years ago.
Either way, I mean, he was making semifinal runs, and you could count on it. But now, I wouldn't count on that at all.
Brady Pagula playing right now. Yeah. Oh, the other thing I had about Djokovic, I guess the media is just on this guy. I read on the article.
Eastern-Western fight.
News.com Australia. Djokovic, this is what the article said. Djokovic under fire for luxury accommodation ahead of the U.S. Open.
So he earned it. Don't hate.
So Djokovic did not want to join the other players in the hotel rooms they had assigned to them because he said it was suffocating, right? Well, he says the USTA, I'm not going to read this whole quote he said, but he said basically USTA did good picking the hotels, blah, blah, blah. He's like, but I don't want to be in a hotel room. I want to have my own house. He's like, is it luxury? Yes.
Good
but,
for him.
You know, he earned it.
Good for him.
Why are they going on him when Serena's rented a house? Because she said lung issues. I mean, I don't get it. They're getting on him because he rented a house and didn't want to stay in the hotel. He's like, if you can afford it and you can do it, why wouldn't you do it?
This is media bullshit.
I'm just saying.
And then there's a statement that or an acronym. You know, I like to say it. We'll guess who gives a shit. This is one of those who gives a shit articles. Who gives a damn? Homeboy earned that. Do what you got to do, bro. Personally, if it were me, I would have my pad with my crew too. And if all these people were, you know, talking, I wouldn't even hear it. I can promise you I wouldn't even think about it. I'd have my kids. We'd be playing mini tennis on the kitchen table.
I'm sure he gets tired.
I don't even care.
I'm sure he gets tired of it. It's just like someone asked him, hey, you know,
who cares, man?
You started, you know, you guys played in this tournament Serbia. Your friend got this, your friend got that.
So, whatever.
He's like, I'm not responsible for that. You know, we thought it was safe, and that's it.
You know, I'm their dad. I mean, whatever. I'm offering, but you don't got to accept. There's a bridge. Jump off of it. You don't have to. Man, come on, man. That's just tabloid bullshit.
Remind me not to name my son Djokovic. They're just gonna go after him.
This is the same way people get.
They're gonna go after him. I might as well name him Federer.
Yeah, same way you.
All right, I'm not having more kids. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we're not doing that. But the media is really good at getting people that are susceptible and easily biased to not like people. The reason why the media does this to Djokovic, we've talked about it. I'm not going back into it. It is a big East-West rift. It has to do with politics. It has to do with governmental influence.
He's got kids. Good point, Blankfear. He's got kids and needs more space. I'm sure that his wife's there, his whole crew, and just like Serena, she needs the house because she's got her nanny, her husband, her daughter. Maybe Venus is staying there. Who knows?
Get down.
You know?
Don't hate, congratulate.
Oh, the kids aren't with him, Wildlife said.
Hey, I bet you.
Who knows? Anyways, he's got the money.
I bet
if I had the money, I'd rent a house. I don't want to be in a hotel.
Okay, so let's say prior to him checking into that house, Djokovic calls up this journalist that writes this bullshit and says, "Hey man, this is before writing it. Hey man, let me fly you to my place and you can come hang out with me and do a story if you want." Dude or girl, whoever, would be on the plane flying, they'd love it up, they'd come back to their country and they'd be like, the best person I've ever met, blah, 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 blah. Unless their boss put them up to it, and then they're just stuck having to write the story because of what their boss told them.
He is smarter for renting the house because you are more prone to getting the virus if you're in a hotel and the food and all that.
Air circulation.
What about something gets contaminated? You don't know. You're better off controlling your own environment, where you're not with too many people around.
I don't understand why the ball boys and girls have to wear a mask. It doesn't even seem right. I mean, they're stating that the player doesn't have...
It makes no sense.
Okay.
Not that the ball boys. Yeah, that made no sense to me because that makes no. Because they're even giving them the tennis ball.
Yeah, they're giving them the tennis ball.
So you're touching some.
So it's not. I mean, they're there to grab the ball, and he's putting it in his hand. It's freaking preposterous. I get dumber every day watching this shit.
Yeah.
I get stupider now watching tennis. No disrespect.
You know what I should buy when we go to the next week's tournament? Because our kids have one.
What? We
should buy the Star Wars, I am your father. Remember Darth Vader? We might as well then go.
Darth Vader helmet. you walk out with Yoda.
I might as well put that on myself so no one knows what my reaction is.
Man.
I'm thinking of doing that.
All right. Let me name it. What is that movie, Point Break? They all dressed up with the president.
Your girl Sabalenka's playing Cici Bellis tomorrow. Yeah, Cici Bellis won today, so yeah.
Man, Sabalenka I had hope for, but until that one tournament
yes, the players depend on their own towels, but the ball kids are still throwing a tennis ball.
Yeah, but the ball people get the tennis balls.
Wasn't the whole thing when everybody opened up to play tennis, make sure you mark your tennis balls with a sharp with an X.
Balls, hey.
That way you don't touch each. Come on. And we all laughed about it. How does that make sense?
It just doesn't make any sense. I'm not saying it's good or bad. Don't go there. That's not what we're saying. It just doesn't make any sense. And we've said that before here. We're not saying pro or negative, whatever. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, right here in Alabama, we have high school football. Love football. Played it a lot in my life. Love it to death. But everybody's wearing masks 6 feet apart, but there's, 100 kids down and huge piles tackling one another. Anyway, it just doesn't make any sense. I won't get into that again. If you want to hear that whole debate and me going off about that, or us, I think all of us, go back to like 2 shows ago.
Yeah. So whose hair are you talking about, Vito? Are you talking about Sakari?
Sakari?
She has beautiful hair, by the way.
Remember, last year you called her a brute.
But
now she went from a brute to flowing beautiful hair.
Okay, Wildlife says CC's cute. Yeah, she's very cute, and she had a promising career. Some injury happened, so we'll see if she can get back. She was supposed to be like one of the future American tennis players. Konta Flipkins, a good match, says Gene, and Buskova and Kaliskaya.
Okay,
I think Kaliskaya would lose.
Flipkins is a tricky player. That's all I can say for Flipkins. Flipkins is tricky. I think she's German. No, she's from Belgium, isn't she? But she's a tricky Belgium player. She's finicky. She's like. Do you remember Fabrice Santoro? Fabrice Santoro didn't win a ton of matches. Didn't he play 2 hands on either side, Italian guy? Mm-hmm. But anyway, he was always a little bit dangerous. So, I get that, it might be a good match. I don't think Flipkins wins that match.
Isn't Flipkins old? Flipkins a lot older.
She's been around the block. I want to say, I'm guessing, I have no idea, but I want to say mid-30s, but I'm guessing totally. What was the other match you mentioned?
Buskova and Kalinskaya.
Kalinskaya screwed herself up with Kyrgios. I think whoever the other girl is. Who was the other girl?
Buskova.
I know Buskova. I didn't. Buskova will win that.
Doesn't Serena play Mushova?
Serena will probably lose again.
I was watching her hit against Tsitsipas. She was returning a serve.
Whatever. Media stunt. It doesn't matter. Next subject.
That's it. That's my only.
All right.
Done.
So we're good?
We're good unless you guys have anything else.
I don't know. There are some tropical storms outside here that are supposed to make some noise later, so I'm gonna get into that.
I hope not, because they cancel a whole day of tournaments. And some of these kids
You
we
mean
have,
lessons?
Some of these kids we have were coming because they were training for that tournament next weekend. And it sucks
Yeah.
because it's supposed to rain Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
I forgot about that. I didn't take any notes, and thank goodness you mentioned it because I would have forgotten and we would have turned it off. A big, huge shout out to all of the young ladies and young men that are going to be playing at Tomas's place, respectively, in Fairhope. Tomas is a very fine player and coach in Fairhope. Love him and his family a lot. We're blessed to be able to go over there and play. But I don't know, can I say a minor's name? Is that a bad thing? I don't know, but Anne Marie and Mary Michael, Kara.
Kara's playing.
Who else? Our daughter Liliana's playing. Our son Christopher's playing. Is Gabriel playing? Perkins?
No,
He's not playing?
Ella's playing.
Ella's
Anna Marie's
playing.
sister's playing.
So.
And then I think the two young men that came to play with my son, this little 10-year-old boy.
Oh, Thomas and Philip.
I think he could be a superstar. So
kid's good. Kid is really good.
He's
He's 10. It was destroying like 16-year-olds. He's 10. He's played 16s and was destroying like big burly dudes, getting all mad. You know, throwing all the rackets and saying, "Are you sure that's out?" He's just keeping us cool and trucking on, being a soldier. Love that.
His favorite player, he said, was Felix, which was shocking to me because he played more like Djokovic.
Ditto.
Yeah.
Ditto.
So he's gonna also play. So good luck to that. Good luck to that family as well.
So look forward to it. Now, look, I'll end this with the question. With Matt.
Oh, my hair! You like my hair? Yeah.
Oh, you want to put that down, or is it
no,
too funky?
it's too much. It's a lot. But there was somebody out there that sent me a message that said, "Are you wearing a weave?" And I'm gonna say, "No, this is all my hair."
Weave,
Look,
man, a weave,
there is definitely no weave here.
Weave, man, a weave, what up?
No, I have a lot of thick hair. So.
All natural.
No weave.
All natural.
Now I have a going on.
Smoking
so
like
that's
dope.
why I put it in a bun. But yeah, I did color my hair. I said I've never done it before. I said might as well.
Birthday gift. Mm-hmm. All natural. No chemicals.
Collins
silky smooth.
Probably spray the tennis. LeBron winning a title. While I said LeBron winning a title.
Probably this year. If not, there'll be an asterisk like B-Dog. Well, B-Dog didn't say that. B-Dog just said there should be. I forgot. There was an asterisk moment with B-Dog there, and I forgot how it spun, but I was with him. But yeah, LeBron, I think, wins the title this year. I don't know who else is going to stop him in the East. Maybe the Celtics, I guess.
The Warriors are no longer the Warriors.
And you are like in left
I'm
field.
like late.
Last year. She jumps on teams when someone's winning.
No. No. Wait a minute. I like LeBron. What are you talking about? I never liked the Warriors.
So,
never liked the Warriors.
But you used to like the Cavaliers.
Because LeBron was in it.
And now you like the Lakers.
Because LeBron's in
So
there.
you're not a fan.
No, I'm just a fan of the guy.
Jeez, I was born into a Lakers family. It just, we go through some ups and downs, right? But I think he wins it. Who's going to beat him in the East? Who's going to beat him? Toronto? No. Who's going to beat him? Who's going to beat him in the West? The Rockets? No. Portland? No. Maybe. Anyway, the Jazz, the Nuggets? I doubt it. All right. We good to go?
Yep. Well, thank you for the hair compliments. It's messy right now, but yeah.
Silky
I just wanted to fit in with the girls at the Southern Western Open.
The flowing
Especially as the rank up. Well, she beat everybody because their hair just looked
How long was this?
the bomb. I have no idea.
So the moral of the story in this show
Clippers maybe, said Wildlife One.
I didn't think about that.
Gene Schwartz says, isn't her haircut?
Kawhi
Haircut
could get
should
it
win
done.
that. Hair podcast.
Yeah, so for the whole hour, we should change the title of this to
It's better to have flowy hair or bun.
The Sakari is now Sakari, or Sakari is now Sakari because the man bun went to silky flowing. And this is her quote, not mine.
Yeah.
Funny how things change. Muguruza. Go figure.
Yeah.
All right. And now my name is Justine, and her name is Daviso.
Davis.
All right.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching, and
Go.
try to get on again.
Take care.